Glad you can join us. Let's see who else is on the WhatsApp and the Google Chats so that they can ask questions as well. All right. Okay. Shout out to everybody who's watching but doesn't have a YouTube account, so you can't comment. No worries. You can ask me questions through Class Dojo at Modo and any of the other platforms. I have them right open in front of me here. I'll be scanning them periodically to get any questions that you may post. All right, let me go to Edmodo. Welcome everybody. If you've just joined us, it's now bright and early 2 p.m. We are about to start the broadcast proper. If you have any questions, send me a message via Class Dojo or Edmodo or WhatsApp if you can, and I'll try to answer these questions as quickly as possible. Today, I'll be presenting from the set of PowerPoint slides I posted in Edmodo called Oral Notes. So if you have access to the notes I posted, why don't you go ahead, download it, and open it up right now. It's under the post that has the 6 different attachments I added for you to do your revision for oral. It is quite a lot of materials, but remember, you don't have to cover every single one of them to memorize them. You just need to expose yourself to them. They have some pretty good ideas that you might want to put into your own oral responses, okay? So welcome everybody once again. If you can't access the chat on YouTube, then you can actually chat with me through WhatsApp or through Class Dojo or through Edmodo. I have my multiple windows open right here, and I'm ready to answer any questions you have. All right, those of you who have just joined me on the YouTube chat channel, could you please identify yourself? Because some of you are logged in using your parents' accounts, so I'm seeing your parents' names. So I'm assuming that yes, that's right. That's Kaylin there. Okay, hello Kaylin, welcome. All right, so far we have Aiden, Ashton, we have Chun Hong, we have Kaylin, we have Jia En. Right, welcome everybody. Hi, good that you could join us. I'm gonna try to type and speak and interact with you and look at the video camera at the same time. It's the very first time I'm doing a live broadcast, so we'll give it a try, all right? Along the way, do give me some feedback about how I was telling the earlier group, those who had joined earlier, I wanted to put a PowerPoint slide right here. The program I'd actually bought and downloaded would have allowed me to put the PowerPoint slides that I'm going through right here, but for some reason it keeps crashing. So I've been trying for the last almost 45 minutes, can't get it to work. So I decided to go ahead with the live stream anyway, right? So I'm gonna speak to you with reference to a set of PowerPoint slides I printed in Edmodo, or rather I posted in Edmodo. It's called Oral Notes, okay? And on the very front cover of this PowerPoint is a big sign that says Stimulus-Based Conversation for a Oral Revision 2018. So if you know which PowerPoint slide I'm talking about, please turn it on or take a look at it or print it out right now. I'll be basing today's presentation off of this PowerPoint slide that I am looking at on my computer. Again, apologies, I'm not able to print this PowerPoint slide out or post it up on this side of the screen. I'll try to fix the program in the next broadcast, but it was supposed to appear here while I was presenting with all of you, and you could see the presentation while I'm talking and explaining at the same time. All right, but anyways, it's all right. We'll roll with it. Let's give it a try anyway. Do you have any questions about the materials I posted or about oral in general? All right, it could be questions about how the oral will be conducted. It could be questions about like what kinds of topics might likely come out, or about any of the materials I posted. All right. Tse Ting, hello, welcome to our YouTube chat and live broadcast. This broadcast, by the way, is live. I'm seeing your comments on the right-hand pane over here. I'm seeing all of your chat comments, and this is me. I'm coming to you live right now from my home. I've just returned from the PSLE Listening Comprehension exam that your seniors have Sat 4, and I'm back home right now doing this live broadcast, okay? So we'll give everybody 5 more minutes to get online. Those of you who are on the chat group might be wondering why there are so few of you. Well, mainly because only those who have logged on to YouTube, who have an account with YouTube, are able to comment on the live stream. There are plenty of others watching it right now who don't have an account, are not able to comment, but are able to see me as I present this live stream. All right, so welcome to everybody, even to those of you who are not able to participate in the chat. No worries. As I was saying earlier on, you can chat with me through Edmodo. You can use your Edmodo account to send me a message, or you can use Class Dojo, or you can use WhatsApp, whichever is available to you, to send me a message, or even to just post a positive comment or a suggestion for any future live broadcast sessions that we might have. Those of you who are curious, this is the background of my study room. It's a little bit untidy. You can see some books strewn here and there. This is some of the posters that you guys gave to me for Teachers' Day. The rest are below. You can't really see it, right? No space to put them all up. But hello, everyone. Okay, those who have just joined in, please identify yourself because your username may not indicate who it is. And please do not use this chat for any personal messages because I need to only see related messages to oral. Okay, so this is purely the chat that you are involved in and you're posting into for YouTube is purely for oral messages only. Okay, so again, for those of you who are just joining the feed, I have posted 6 resources in Edmodo. So if you log into Edmodo, you should be able to see 6 different attachments. Now, if you're only seeing a few, that's because I've been posting it and you need to refresh the page. Once you refresh the page, you should be able to see all of the resources that I've posted. Let me just double check that right now. Some of you are saying you only see 4. Okay, so if you're only seeing 4, try to refresh the Edmodo page and you should be able to see all of the resources, okay? I'll just go through what these resources are. Okay, I'm sorry, there are 5 resources, not 6. I apologize, okay? So the first one is a picture of the rubric. The rubric is what the teachers will use to assess your performance. Okay, I've taken away the marks for obvious reasons, so you can't see them. But this is the 3 or 4 items that the teachers will be looking for when they listen to you speak and read. The second one is the oral practice models, which are some questions and model answers extracted from your oral practice book. The third one is oral notes, which is the PowerPoint slide that I will be running and explaining and going through with all of you today. The fourth one is oral pointers, which was the soft copy of the handout I gave out to all of you on Friday. Now, Nikki, if you are listening in, who else was absent? Was it Jaden? Those of you who are absent, please download oral pointers for 4A and print it out because that's the handout that I gave out on Friday and I went through with the class. And lastly, SBC Practice 6 is a recording of a student of mine that was responding to an oral question. So you get an idea of how someone in primary 5 or 6 might respond in their oral examinations. Okay, so this is good a reference and a point for you to look at. Okay, so 5 resources in that model. All right. Okay, good. So now everybody can see 5. Okay, great. All right, that's wonderful. Okay, let's give everybody another 2 more minutes. I will start in 2 minutes' time with the PowerPoint slide. So those of you who are wondering what today's lesson will be about, it will be about stimulus-based conversation. And I will be looking at some things to look out for. I wanted to post the PowerPoint right here. Unfortunately, the program I was using for it kept crashing. So we're going to have to do without the PowerPoint appearing over here for today until I can fix that problem. And you are welcome to comment and ask me questions, okay? If the stream appears a little jittery, it's probably because your connection is a little too slow, all right? So no worries. Remember that after this and I will be posting it onto my channel as a video that you can watch and rewatch. So a lot of the pointers I'll be bringing up, if I'm going a little too fast for you, don't worry about it. Later on, after this broadcast is over, I'll archive, I'll save this footage, and I'll post it onto my channel as a video that you can watch on demand. And you can slow it down, speed it up, and repeat different portions if you need to. All right, so no worries about that. Let's see, who else? Okay. Okay, right. Ray, please stop posting comments that are not related to oral. Okay, please stop posting comments that are not related to oral. Hello, Ingrid. It's good to see you. Welcome. All right, and again, like I explained, if the screen is lagging or if the image is jittery, it's likely because your connection is a little too slow. So don't worry, just watch and try to catch on. If you're not able to, remember that this entire video will be posted onto my channel at the end of this broadcast, and you'll have the ability to forward, to rewind, and to repeat certain portions, okay? Jia En, I will fix the attachment issue with you later, but everybody else can see 5. So just be patient. We are focusing on this live broadcast now, not on the attachments in Edmodo, all right? So for Edmodo, all of you who are new, who have just arrived and joined, hello Cheryl, okay? I was just telling them today's lesson is going to be on stimulus-based conversation, and I'll be looking at a PowerPoint slide that I posted in Edmodo, all right? So it's part of a collection of 5 resources, all right? And you need to download the one called Oral Notes, okay? The one called Oral Notes, okay? Oral Notes. And the Oral Notes one should allow you to follow along with my presentation as I go through the materials, okay? So I say again, there are 5 attachments. One is a picture, the picture of the rubric that will be used to assess you for oral. One is a PDF file, which is the soft copy of the notes that I gave out to you on Friday. One is the oral notes, which is the PowerPoint I'm going to go through. The other one is a set of practice and model answers that you can refer to in your own revision. All right. And I can't remember what's the 5th one, but there should be 5. All right. Hello, Jancis. Welcome. Hello, Georgina. All right, great. It looks like we have more than 10 people. Yeah, I guess we can begin. All right, hello everyone. Okay, Jancis, we have Kaylin, we have Jia En, we have Cheryl, we've got Ingrid, we've got Ray, we've got Ashton, we've got Siting, we've got Aiden, we've got Chun Hong, and forgive me if I didn't call you by name, but basically everybody's here, so I'm going to get started pretty soon, okay? So welcome. Charlene says she can only see 4. Charlene, don't worry about it. Like Mr. Phang says, I'll be going and concentrating on the live stream now. I can't attend to you on Edmodo. So just go along with the presentation for now. Later on, I'll do any troubleshooting that you need me to do, okay? So we are looking at the oral notes PowerPoint slide from the Edmodo posting. So if you're able to, please download oral notes. Hello, Megan. All right, glad to see you. We are able to we're able to look at the PowerPoint slide that says oral notes, and oral notes will contain what I'm going through with you today. All right. After the session is over, please message me with any feedback, what you think can be improved. Those of you who just joined us, Mr. Phang wanted to put the PowerPoint presentation right here, but the software I'm using is faulty, it keeps crashing. So I'm not able to do that today, I'm sorry. I'll only be speaking and going through the slides at the same time. So if you have the slides, please turn to it now. I will be beginning with stimulus-based conversation, 4A oral revision 2018, all right? Hello, everybody. Okay, so remember, your focus should be on me and on asking any questions that you might have of oral, all right? This chat group on the right-hand side is only for questions related to oral. Please refrain from socializing or sending too many messages to each other. I'll be monitoring the chat. and I'll be downloading a copy of it after this video is over. I would like to see messages related to oral only, okay? So you can say hello, but try not to do it too often, because if you do so, the entire chat will be flooded, right? And we won't be able to focus on what's really important, which is oral, okay? So I seek everybody's understanding. Let's be focused. So now Mr. Pang's going to start. I'm going to talk about oral and specifically stimulus-based conversations, okay? So as you all know, we've gone through this in class. Stimulus-based conversation is the portion of oral that contains the most number of marks, okay? And these marks will come basically from how you interact with the examiner. So if you look at the rubric, or rather if you remember the rubric I posted in the Edmodo post, you find that if you are able to A, use a wide range of vocabulary when you're to B, be able to use accurate structures, meaning your subject-verb agreement rule, your sentences make sense and they are very well linked from one to another. And 3, if you're able to introduce new ideas or ideas related to the topic that you're talking about, then you will score in the top band of your oral stimulus-based conversation. And that's what we want to see, the top band. So again, let me summarize the 3 points. Wide vocabulary, good structures, good sentences, and ideas that are new, that are introduced into the conversation that are related to the main idea that you're discussing. And I'll show you some of these examples later on as we go into some of these materials, okay? So before I continue, I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. I've tried to keep my room as quiet as possible. I've turned the air conditioning on. I've closed the windows. So if you can't hear me for any reason, please message me through any one of those portals I've just mentioned. WhatsApp, Class Dojo, Edmodo. Let me know if you can't hear me, all right? But I'm really trying hard to be clear. Okay, very good. Now, let's move on to talk about the skills that you need when you are speaking in an oral examination, okay? So in the English syllabus, we know that in order for you to score well for your oral, you really need to be very good with your tone and register. Now, remember, one of the 3 Ps that we talked about for reading was person, right? It was punctuation, pronunciation, and person. So person refers to how you read or respond. Your voice, its intonation, whether it goes up and down, appropriate to what you're reading or talking about. So for person or for tone, remember if the character that you are reading in the reading passage is extremely agitated, you should sound agitated. If the topic you're talking about in conversation is an extremely sad one, right? If you're talking about the death of a pet, for example, then your voice, the tone of your voice has to reflect what you're talking about. So, I'm so sad that I lost my pet, right? That tone. You wouldn't say, I'm so sad that I lost my pet, hooray, right? So that's not the appropriate tone. So one thing to remember is whenever you are in a conversation with someone, be conscious of what the topic is and using the right tone to fit that topic. So if it's a serious topic, have a serious tone. If it's a light-hearted and funny topic, you can smile and you can, have a little chuckle as you make a point, okay? So these are some interesting ways that, thank you for liking the video. These are some interesting ways that you can vary your pitch and tone even in the conversation part of your oral, okay? Wonderful. Okay, so emotions are important. That's right, Cheryl. I can see you as you wrote that. Emotions are important even in conversation. So remember, if it's a light-hearted topic, smile, engage the examiner. Remember eye contact, right? Eye contact, your poise, sit up straight, okay? Be confident in your posture and speak to the examiner. Make eye contact, right? Remember, if you're too nervous, if the examiner looks a little too scary, concentrate on the point of their nose, right? Instead of looking them in the eyes, you can concentrate right on the bridge of the nose. And when you do that, it's going to look as if you're making eye contact when you are not. Okay, so that's really for if you're very, very nervous. Okay, right. All right, guys, let's focus on the oral presentation. Let's not be querying who everybody else is. It doesn't matter. Okay, so let's focus. Right, let's move on. Okay, so I'm going to look at the example. For those of you who have your notes on oral, you will see that on the 6th slide, there is an example given on a poster for chicken and vegetable pasta, right? And it's microwavable, it's ready in 5 minutes, all right? There are some elements of the advertisement all over, all right? So let's take a look at that example. I'm going to work through it together with you, okay? So this is the picture, all right? And typically, when you look at, they will give you 3 main questions, A, B, and C, as well as 3 side questions or minor questions that are in a bullet point. So you have A, and then you have a bullet point. You have B, you have a bullet point. And then you have C, you have a bullet point. All right? I'm on slide number 6. Okay, I'm on slide number 6. All right? So I'm looking at the slide that says stimulus-based conversation, chicken and vegetable pasta. All right? So look at the questions. All right? A, B, and C are the main questions. The bulleted questions are the minor questions. All right? So look at the picture for question A, the first question. Question A, would you be interested to buy the pasta? Tell me why or why not. All right? So, all right, give me a minute. The prompts. Okay. Okay, take a look at the prompts. All right, Jia En, I'm not really sure what you mean by what is the best limited time for our oral. I guess it could be that you're asking me what is the best time to spend for your oral. It really depends on the question, so there is no fixed time. There are no slides on this video. You have to go to Edmodo to download the slides. The slides are called oral notes, okay? Oral notes. They are not here because, like I explained at the beginning of this presentation, the software that I'm using to project the slides onto this video is not working, all right? So let's get back now to the picture. Okay, so look at the picture. Would you be interested to buy the pasta? Tell me why or why not, okay? So now this is quite an interesting question. It's asking you about the picture, all right? So if you're looking at the picture or wherever you've loaded the picture, if you're looking at the picture, then you must remember that the first question, question A, always has to do with the picture. And you must use the entire picture when you're responding. Now, a common mistake that many pupils make is that they zoom in on 1 or 2 parts of the picture that they're really very excited about, and that's all they talk about, just 1 or 2 parts of the picture. Now, if you do that, then the examiner cannot give you the full marks because the picture is there to stimulate. That's what it's called, picture stimulus, right? It's there to stimulate your answer. So you've got to use every single part of the picture, leaving nothing out. That's why in the notes I gave to you, it's about working through the picture systematically. You can either describe the picture from top to bottom or from left to right, but try to make sure that you don't leave any of the elements of the picture out. Okay, now I am going to describe this picture, answering the question as a demonstration to you now. Okay, so again, as a reminder, for those of you who don't have the PowerPoint slide, I am at slide 6, and the first question I'm looking at is, would you be interested to buy the pasta? Okay, tell me why or why not. Slide 6, question A. Would you be interested to buy the pasta? Tell me why or why not. So here I am, I'm a student, and I'm about to respond to this first question, all right? Yes, I would love to buy this pasta because I love eating pasta. I love eating all kinds of pasta dishes. Looking at the advertisement for this chicken and vegetable pasta, I can see that it is made of ingredients such as carrots and mushrooms, chicken, garlic, tomatoes, as well as spaghetti. And the ingredients look really fresh and delicious. In addition to the fact that they have fresh ingredients, I can tell from the advertisement that it is easy to prepare. It takes only 5 minutes in a microwave to get ready for the meal. In addition, it tells me that this pasta provides a balanced meal. And I feel that having a balanced meal and having a balanced diet is an important thing. For us to remain healthy and strong, we do need to eat a balanced diet full of vegetables, meat, carbohydrates, so that our vitamins and minerals are replenished each day. I also find the price to be reasonable. It's only $9.90. Wow, what a great deal for a balanced meal containing all of the ingredients that have been listed on this advertisement. In addition to that, I can also see that there is a free voucher. It's fun and fit. Wow. I love playing at the playgrounds, and I think that in addition to eating a healthy diet, we should also be active, physically active, exercising, and that is what this particular package, this particular advertisement promises me. I get 30 minutes to play at this playground. It looks really exciting. There are tubes, there are climbing ladders, there looks to be a little shelter, and it is valid for weekdays, which is fine because I could always visit after school. It doesn't bother me that it is not available during weekends and public holidays because I will probably be traveling or I will probably be busy doing other things as well. In addition to the fact that there is a for 30 minutes playtime, I see that this particular package serves 2 people. That's wonderful. I didn't notice this at first, but $9.90 buys you 2 portions of chicken and vegetable pasta. And that is really value for money. Thank you. That's all I have to say. Okay, wonderful. As some of you are responding and some of you are asking questions, does the elements mean the important parts? No, actually, when I say elements in the notes, I'm actually referring to every part of the picture. So every part of the picture is important. However, some parts are more important than others. So this is a good question. For example, if you look at the chicken and pasta picture, you'll see that the more important things would include the ingredients, would include the free 30-minute playtime at Fun and Fit, and would include the microwavable in 5 minutes. Now, these are the 3 more important points. But you realize that I didn't stop talking after I spoke about these 3 points. I went on to cover every element of the picture just to be thorough. And if you were tracking me, it took me about 4 minutes. And that's a very respectable time to respond to one question. All right. Of course, I could have gone on longer, but given the limits of time, I thought that this would be a good demonstration. So that's question 1. The teacher may then go on to ask you a second question, right? So if you look at the slide, you see that the sub point, the bullet point is, why do you think a cutout coupon for 30 minutes of free playtime is given on the packaging? Now, this is very interesting. If you were paying attention to me earlier as I was responding to question A, you realize that I've actually already answered that question, haven't I? I mentioned that play is as important as a balanced diet because exercise also helps to keep us healthy and fit. Okay, so I've actually already answered the question. Now, if that happens on Monday or Tuesday, then you don't have to worry because the teacher will not ask you that question because you've already answered it while you were responding to question A, right? So if you are very thorough in responding to question A, then the teacher will not ask you the bulleted point that is below question A and instead move on to the second question in question B, all right? So, yes, Georgina, you can also talk about healthier choice label. Though is not in the picture, right? Oh, yes, it is. I'm sorry. There is a healthier choice label. I missed that. Yes, you can also talk about the healthier choice label. Perfectly fine. But remember that somewhere in the conversation, I was talking about having a balanced diet and having a balanced meal and how it includes servings of vegetables and has vitamins and minerals. Yeah. So that kind of covers the point on the healthier choice label. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. All right. So that's pretty good. Just a quick comment. Raihan, can you stop commenting? Because this feed is generally for the primary 4 oral pupils. So let them ask the questions, right? Thank you, Raihan. Right, your orals are in fact already over. So please give this time over to the primary 4 pupils. All right, thank you. Okay, so for the rest of us, as I was saying, if you ask me, what is the best time that you need to take to respond to a question in oral? Well, there's no fixed time, right? I think Jian asked this question earlier. Try to go on for as long as you can. Try not to stop and try not to make the teacher ask you too many follow-up questions, right? As an examiner, what I'm looking for is a student who's able to sustain a conversation, meaning you don't stop after one line, you don't stop after one word, you continue to kind of develop your answer. So just now, if you remember while I was answering, I kept on going. I didn't wait for the teacher to prompt me with another question. I didn't, for instance, wait for the teacher to ask me, why do you think there are pictures of ingredients on the cover, right? I didn't wait for the teacher. I just explained that, there are many ingredients that are covered, and this shows me that there are many fresh ingredients that go into making the chicken and vegetable pasta. So I actually take the initiative to talk about every part of this picture. That's the important thing to remember. Try not to leave any part of the picture out, and try to keep your conversation going by linking one part of the picture to another part, to another part, to another part, to another part, to another part. All right. Usually that will give you a reasonably long response to the question. Okay. I hope that was helpful. Okay. Again, remember that everything I say has been recorded and will be posted on my channel as a video. Later on, if you find, oh, Mr. Pang, you are speaking too quickly, I can't catch up with what you're saying, it's too fast, don't worry. You can always watch my video, you can forward, you can rewind, you can pause, you can think about it, you can ask me questions later on, all right? So for the purpose of this live stream, it's for you to listen to me, to ask me into your mind immediately as I'm presenting, all right? I'm glad to see from all the chats that you guys are answering each other's questions and you're actually giving some suggestions, so that's good. Please keep it up, all right? Yes, it is definitely better to talk about the whole picture, Genesis, right? You have to deal with the entire picture. Try not to only focus on one or two parts of it, even though these are very important parts, like I was mentioning. Don't neglect the other parts, because everything on this picture is there for a reason, all right? These pictures have been very carefully put together so that every part of it can be part of your conversation, part of your response. So don't leave them out. Make use of them. Try to think about how they are significant or important and what is your reaction towards them. Now, remember, I was talking about the fact that the package was $9.90, then I said, wow, I think it's a great deal. I think it's a great deal. And there are 2 portions. It serves 2 people. That makes it even better of a deal. So I'm applying it to myself. I'm saying, wow, you know, it's really value for money. It's great. So I'm giving my reaction to what I see on the picture. And earlier on, I also mentioned, oh, it only takes 5 minutes to prepare. It's so convenient. So I used the word convenient as well. Okay. No, Ashton, there's no need for you to say that's all. After you have gone on for quite a while and you've finished, you can just stop and smile at the teacher. Usually the teacher is able to then see that you've come to the end. But if you're not sure that the teacher has gotten your signal, you can always say, that's all I have to say, right? But it's not necessary for you to say that. Okay, good. Very good questions. I'm very glad to see that all of you are participating very actively in the chat. So at this point, I'm going to pause and give you some time to think about what I've said and also to ask me any questions. Okay, remember, don't worry if you didn't catch the earlier part of this video or you tuned in a little late. Everything that's been recorded will be posted on my YouTube channel, and I'll put a link on Edmodo as well in that same post with all the oral resources so that you can watch that video once I finish editing it and posting it. Should take me about 1 hour to do that after this broadcast is over. Okay? Wonderful. So how are you guys finding the video so far? Is it helpful to you? Do you find that it's a good way for you to learn? Do let me know your thoughts, okay? Any suggestions, any thoughts, please post them either as a message or through WhatsApp or through YouTube chat group or through Edmodo. If you want to encourage me, you think that it's pretty good, then please also post a positive message so that Mr. Pang can receive some encouragement and feel good. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to do that. Oh, Cheryl was saying SA2 is very helpful. You should do that for SA2 too. Okay, yes, definitely. I assume you're talking about the exam paper and compositions, right? Yes, I intend to do a video for composition as well, another video for exam tips so that you don't make common mistakes, right? Thank you, Kaylin. That was very encouraging. Thank you, Cheryl. All right. You guys are so encouraging. Thank you. Thank you, Ashton. Thank you, Jia En. Thank you, Georgina. Thanks for the awesome. Wonderful. Yes, Jancis, thank you very much as well. Awesome. Okay. Oh, Aiden, I don't know. It will depend on whether we're in the same class in primary 5. But if I do have another live broadcast, you're welcome to watch. It's a public broadcast and everybody should be able to comment on it. All right, great. Okay, thank you, boys and girls. You're very encouraging. And it's very helpful to hear your comments and your feedback. It's important to me. Like I was telling everyone earlier, by right, there should be a video that appears round about here that contains the PowerPoint slides and the pictures. I really wanted that to happen, but for some reason, when I used the software, it just kept crashing and it just wouldn't load. So rather than stop the broadcast, I thought I'd carry on and materials. So we'll see. Next time, I'll improve this and make it even better. Okay. All right. Okay, Ziting, you mentioned, can we have more oral examples to practice? Absolutely. Remember in Edmodo, I've posted at least 15 different examples of pictures and passages you can practice on, and I've also attached about 10 model answers for you. So it's all there, okay, Ziting, please go and check it out. You should be able to find everything you need there. If you're asking about whether I can demonstrate more, well, it depends, because there's a time limit to the video, and I don't want to be like speaking, and it might get a bit overwhelming to everybody. Okay, so some of the examples, you'll have to read it yourself. Okay. Okay, Cheryl, don't worry about it. Remember, if you're subscribed to my channel, as you already are, you'll receive notifications whenever I'm going live or whenever I'm posting new videos, right? Oh, Megan, thank you so much for your encouragement. I'll try to make it even better, right? I'll try to make it even better, all right? At this point, everybody seems to be okay, no concerns or questions. For those of you who just tuned in not long ago, I've just finished demonstrating how to respond for one of the questions in the picture stimulus section of your oral. I went on for about 4 minutes and 20 seconds for just one question. So imagine if you're asked 3 or 4 questions, you easily should exceed 10 minutes, okay? So I usually tell my students 10 minutes is a good guideline for everything from reading all the way to responding to the picture stimulus questions. The entire oral should be about 10 minutes, right? Slightly more, slightly less is perfectly fine, okay? All right, okay. So everybody, thank you for your very, very positive and very encouraging comments. As always, Mr. Pham is very encouraged. So let me carry on with this video for a little bit longer. I don't want to go on for too long. Most of the materials I'm covering are available on Edmodo. I've posted the PowerPoint slides, the sample of another pupil responding to oral, all the model answers to the different topics that can be covered in stimulus-based conversation, they're all in Edmodo, okay? So if you're not sure, you think you missed something, you can always check into Edmodo, and you can always take a look at my video after I've posted it, edited it, neatened it, made it a little bit better. Okay, great. Okay, so you like gestures, wonderful. Thank you, Georgina, for the encouragement. Okay, Jian is asking what time this video ends. I'm hoping to end it by 3 p.m. sharp. So remember I said I'd start at 2 and I'd end by 3. So I won't keep you guys too long from whatever else you have to do. I started a little earlier today. I actually started at about 1:50 p.m., right? Okay. Some of you like Aiden and Chun Hong, you all were here right from the beginning. So thank you for being with us. Okay. Now let's get back to the PowerPoint slide, okay? So I'm moving on now to the 7th slide, slide number 7, okay? So you can take a little bit of time to have a look at slide number 7, okay? Slide number 7 is a model or sample response to the question, okay? Take a look at it. You can read it a little bit more in detail maybe later. Okay, so now let me move on to the other slides. Okay, now in slide number 8, you should be able to see that there are some sample topics that may appear in your oral. Okay, I'm not saying that any of these topics will appear. I'm just saying that these are some possible topics that may appear in your oral on Monday or on Tuesday, depending on your index number, right? Okay. Right, now I'm going to move us on. Let's skip slide 9. Let's skip slide 10. Okay, let's skip slide 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And let's go on to slide number 18. Okay, I'm looking at sample number 1. No, chances, I'm afraid that the presentation will not be inside, because remember I said the software that's supposed to put the presentation here has died on me, and I can't get it to work right now. So I'm afraid that all you'll see is me talking, and well, you're gonna have to settle with that for this video, okay? So this video is just gonna be me talking you through the PowerPoint slides that on my screen are loaded on this side. That's why I keep pointing to this side, okay? But you can't see it because it's on my screen but not on the video, Okay, it's supposed to appear right here. Okay, so if you are able to, you should that PowerPoint slide, oral notes on this side of your screen if you're on a computer. So you can watch my video and look at the PowerPoint slide at the same time. That's what Mr. Pang is doing right now. But if you're not able to, if you're using an iPad or an iPhone, that's fine. Just watch the video. And later on, when I post this video, when it's no longer live, I post it as a video. You can then watch the video again and look at the PowerPoint slides side by side. You know, with your phone, with the computer screen, you can compare it as we go through it. All right. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so take a look at slide number 19. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing a question. I'm not really very sure where that question came from. Is it Chun Hong? Perhaps you can tell me where the question about piracy came from. Ooh. I think one of my neighbors just slammed the door. Okay, thank you, Kaylin, for explaining what piracy is. But I'm interested to know where Chun Hong got the word piracy from. Is it from one of the passages or examples? Slide 8, right, okay. So let me cycle back to slide 8. Ah, yes, you're right, practice 7. Okay, don't worry, Chun Hong. Piracy is not a topic that you will be tested on for sure. I can guarantee you piracy is not a topic that a primary 4 pupil will need to talk about during oral. Okay, so don't worry about it. Let's concentrate on slide 19 now. We're looking at traveling on public transport. Okay, traveling on public transport. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Georgina. Right. Know where it's from now. So take a look now at this picture. All right. It's actually a poster of public transport. They're trying to promote it. All right. So look at the picture. Would you be interested to travel during off-peak hours? Tell me why or why not. Why do you think free rides are being offered to commuters who travel early on weekdays? So this is actually 2 different questions. So the first question, the main question is, look at the picture. Would you be interested to travel during the off-peak hours? Tell me why or why not. And on the picture, you can see the train, the bus, the clock that says 7 o'clock, travel during off-peak hours and save, the poster says. Enjoy free rides on buses and trains when you reach your destination before 7 a.m. All right? So would you be interested to travel during off-peak hours is the question. Tell me why or why not. Okay? So this is about public transport. It's about traveling during off-peak hours. So remember what I said earlier. When we are looking at the picture, we try to look through the picture systematically, either from top to bottom or from left to right, to make sure we have left out none of the elements or none of the details in the picture. We want to cover everything, okay? So I'll give you a moment now to take a look at this picture and to try to remember how I responded to the first sample, the first picture, okay, to think about some of the points that I used. Yes, that's right, Cheryl. It's about saving money, right? It's about getting free rides, okay? So always respond with a very strong opinion. Remember I said don't ever say, I don't mind, I don't think so, maybe. Try not to use these kinds of responses in oral. Be strong either in agreement or be strong in disagreement, okay? So in this case, I'm going to agree. So would you be interested to travel during the off-peak hours? Oh yes, I most certainly would be interested to travel during the off-peak hours. To begin with, I'm a student, a primary school student, and my school usually starts by 7:25. And in order for me to get there in time, I certainly need to travel and arrive before 7. So since I'm already doing that, I would certainly want to take advantage of this offer to travel during off-peak hours and save money. Imagine what I could buy with the money I save every day from taking the bus to school. I could certainly very quickly save up enough money to afford my favorite toy or stationery. And at the same time, yes, that's right, everyone. At the same time, while I'm traveling at that time, there are fewer commuters. I get the bus all to myself. I don't have to struggle and squeeze to get on a crowded bus after 7. I can take my time. I can listen to music or read my storybook. I can enjoy the scenery as it goes by without worrying about being crowded into or out of the bus. Time to travel, and I would certainly want to take advantage of this offer. However, I note that at the bottom of the page, it tells me that this offer is not valid on weekends and public holidays. That's a shame, because I usually have early morning swimming lessons that require me to travel to a swimming pool that is quite a distance from my home. I need to take a bus and arrive by 7:30. If only this offer also extended to the weekends, I would be able to save even more money. And I would not mind waking up earlier in order to travel before 7 a.m. I think this is a great idea also because that means that there will be less people squeezing into buses after 7. Life for everyone. All right. Did you find that helpful? Okay, good. Right, it's a good point, Kaylin. Kaylin is asking, but if it was free, wouldn't that mean that there are more people who will want to travel during that time? Yes, that's precisely the reason why there is this advertisement. They want more people to travel earlier so that there'll be less people cramming into buses and trains during the peak hours. That's why it's called off-peak hours. So yes, there'll be more people, but it'll still be a lot less. Imagine waking up at 6 o'clock to travel before 7. Now, I'm sure not everybody will be able to do it or would be willing to do it, especially those whose working hours start at 8 or 9 o'clock. They certainly wouldn't want to be arriving in the office before 7 and have to wait an hour or two before starting work. But this would be good for students. This would be good for professionals who want to save money, who don't mind going into the office earlier to have breakfast or even to spend some time catching up on work. All right? All right, great. Okay. So I'm now on slide 19. You can take a look at slide 20 by yourselves, okay? You will see that some of the things that I did are on slide 20, okay? On slide 20. I go through every element. I talked about saving during off-peak, talked about 7 a.m. I talked about the trains, the buses. I talked about the fact that it's free rides on buses, okay, before 7 a.m. And I also talked about it not being valid on weekends and public holidays, okay? So there you go. It does seem that I've covered all of the picture and I've worked my way from the top to the bottom. So always remember, boys and girls, the first question in stimulus-based conversation is always, everybody say always, yeah, always about the picture. Okay, always about the picture. Okay, don't worry about SSAB, Jia-en. SSAB simply means skills, strategies, attitudes, and behaviors in your speaking. All right, so your skills, strategies are basically what we are doing right now. We're going through how to answer the questions. Attitude is basically being positive, having a good posture, being alert, listening to the teacher, making eye contact, and behavior is simply the way that you behave towards the examiner. All right, so skills, strategies, attitudes, and behaviors. SSAB. Skills, strategies, attitudes, and behaviors. Basically, how you behave and respond during the oral examination. Okay? So take a look at it. You should be able to kind of get a sense of how Mr. Pang would respond to such a question, and you can follow. You don't have to be answering like me. If you can do maybe 50% or 60% of what I'm able to do, you're already in the top band. So don't worry about it. Okay, great. I'm glad that it's clear. You're very welcome. It's my pleasure to clarify any questions that you might have. Very good, thank you. Skills, strategies, attitudes, and behaviors in responding to oral questions. Thank you for summarizing that, Georgina. Beautifully done. Okay, great. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Because it's 2:55. How time flies when we're sort of having fun. I'm going to leave the last 5 minutes for any comments, questions, and maybe to do a little write-up. Okay, it's the thing. Will animal rights come up in the oral? No, I do not believe that they will ask you about animal rights, but they might ask you about animal-related questions. Things like, do you have a pet? Would you like to have a pet? How would you treat animals if they were your pets? That is possible, all right? That is possible. Okay, any other questions? So very common topics would be the ones I've included in your Edmodo postings. Things like transport, things like CCA, things like school performances and school events, things like values, all right? Things like bullying, right? That could be a possible one. Anti-bullying, right? Cyberbullying, that kind of a stuff, all right? So that's possible. What does the 3 first words on slide 21 mean? Let's see. Okay, slide 21, don't worry about it. This is a slide that Mr. Pang actually put together because I was doing some research by reading some articles about oral. So I put the pattern here, but this is more for Mr. Pang's reference, okay? So you see at the bottom right-hand corner of that slide, that's where the article that this was taken from, all right? So don't worry about it. You don't have to know what these words mean. Just follow after what I've explained to you, okay? So if you want to know what conceptualize means, it simply means to put something into one part that you can easily understand. So putting something together so that you can easily understand it, all right? Okay, Jancis, what common questions, like I mentioned, ask you about like your favorite food. They could ask you about what your family does during the weekends. They could ask you to talk about your hobbies. They could ask you to look into your CCAs. They could ask you what kind of secondary school you might want to go to. They could ask you if you have pets and how you want to treat your pets. They may ask you about sports. They may ask you about food and health and diet, having a balanced lifestyle and diet. Oh, there are so many different possible answers. Okay, Cheryl, does Nikki know about this chat? Yes, I've sent a message out to all of the parents, including Nikki's parents, so she should be aware of it. Yes, they could ask you what your favorite food is, definitely. But I don't think they'll ask you what your favorite fruit is, right? That's a bit too narrow, right? They'll probably ask you, they could ask you, what's your favorite food? Or do you prefer eating at home or at the hawker center or in a restaurant? So at home or outside, that's possible, okay? Megan, what do you mean by what if you do not know any names of the topics? Oh, hello, Jisha. I wasn't aware that Jisha was also watching. I guess she's watching but not able to comment. Hello. Yes, Nikki should know about this, right? I will follow up with Nikki's parents after this just to make sure, and I'll send out the link as well as the materials to her as well. So don't worry, I'll make sure that Nikki is able to follow through. Okay, so I think Megan Quack, what you're trying to ask is, what if you don't understand the question, or if they use words that you don't understand? Is that what you're asking? Let me see. Yes, Aiden, they may ask you about things like social media. Okay, Megan, yes. So if you don't understand a word, or if you didn't quite hear it, you can ask the teacher to repeat the question, all right? And if there's a word the teacher uses, which is very difficult, you don't understand, you can ask the teacher, I'm sorry, I don't understand what this word means. But usually that will not happen because the questions are very simple. They're usually phrased very simply. If you look at all the samples, all of the questions are actually very simple, right? There's nothing you don't understand. So don't worry, that will not happen, okay? Yes, thank you. That's exactly right, Georgina. Responding to Jancis, it's too narrow, right? They won't ask you about what your favorite fruit is because there's nothing much to talk about. But food is very broad. So you can talk about all kinds of fruit. You can talk about, sorry, not fruit. You can talk about all kinds of food, and you can talk about like different cuisines and different cooking methods and, you know, different ingredients. But fruit is too narrow, all right? All right. Thank you, everybody. It is indeed 3 o'clock, and I will be ending the stream roundabout now. I'm very sorry I can't extend this even longer, but I'm ending it at 3 o'clock so that I can edit the video and upload it for those who are not able to join us for the live stream as quickly as possible, so that they can listen in and they can also learn what we're catching, right? So I apologize, everybody. The next time around, maybe we can do a live chat that is even longer, and maybe with the PowerPoint slide embedded so that it's easier to look at it while I'm talking about it, and I can point to it as well, right? It's a lot easier that way, okay? So stay tuned for the next podcast. Goodbye, everybody. It was so nice to have all of you. So nice to talk to you on a holiday. So happy to have spent this last hour and maybe 15 minutes with all of you. Have a great weekend. Have a good holiday, everybody. And remember, revise all the notes. If you find anything that you're not sure about, text me, or you can message me on Class Dojo, at Modo, any one of those portals, and I will gladly immediately respond to you and help you out, okay? So remember, Mr. Pang's here. He'll help you. Don't worry if you're not sure. Just drop me a message, or to call me if you really need to talk to me, okay? And lastly, remember, WhatsApp recording of audio if you want me to listen to your reading or your oral response and give you a mark so you have that. Okay, I'm making that available specially to you. Okay, everybody, have a good day. Goodbye. You're very welcome, everyone. You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, so many emoticons. So many sad foxy faces and cat faces and radioactive signs. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone. I'm ending the stream right now. Bye.